Just Buggin.
Hey guys, so in this video, we're taking it back to January 5th of this year, where a beautiful Metal Flake 1970 Dune Buggy made by the company Trophy Cars comes into the Just Buggin Shop for some repairs. Brian, the owner, said it's been sitting for a little bit, and he said it's time to bring it back to its glory days, so he brought it over to the Just Buggin Shop for us to work on it. And I just gotta say, sorry for the delay in this video. We've been going to tons of car shows, and every time we go to one of those car shows, you gotta get the video out soon, so the people that participated at the car show gets to see their vehicle. Also, I gotta say, sorry about the wind noise here in the first clip, but it was back when we didn't have a mic attached to the GoPro at the time. So yeah guys, with this vehicle I'm gonna be making a little bit of a mini series. So this is part 1. There will be a part 2 and possibly a part 3 for this video if I don't fit it all into part 2. So yeah guys, we got many more videos sitting on the backlogs in the Just Buggin Archives, so we decided to pull this one out, and it's a good one. Hope you guys enjoy it.
70. Oh, okay. I double checked it. The number right here on the floor pad, the number on your title. It was registered as a 70. Yeah.
And it's got a swing axle.
Yeah. 70 would be IRS.
Mm-hmm.
You would have 2 levers right here alongside the emergency brake for your heater controls, not the knob here.
Yeah, because the tunnels are still the same. That's what they're using.
Rubber covers on your pedals, not the waffle.
What do you think it is?
62, 63.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's even better.
Just off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
because it's swing axle. They didn't have that.
Now, in all fairness, the body might have been put on here in 70. They got it titled as a custom built car in 70.
Yeah, okay.
Those pods, man, those are hard to get.
Yeah, that's...
That makes it look so much better.
You got a kingpin front end, not ball joint. That's 363.
No kidding.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when a buddy of mine got this from a guy, and he had it for about 2 years, and he was looking for an enclosed trailer, and I had a big aluminum enclosed trailer, and I wanted this car, so I traded him straight up for it.
That's a hell of a deal. These are the hard to find bodies.
When I was a kid, my parents took us on vacation to Miami Beach one year. This was like late 60s, and my dad rented a Dune Buggy, and we rode it for the whole week we were there.
And you just had a blast.
And I wanted one since then.
Now, do you tow bar this around often?
No.
Okay.
No. I tow barred it home when I got it, and I just tow barred it here, and that's it.
Sanford, Florida. It still has it sitting on there. Yeah, that's most likely original paint. It definitely looks like it. And it's in good shape for that.
Yeah, it's got some, my son-in-law cleared it.
Yeah.
He did it in my driveway.
Well, the color was originally missing there. It looks like it blistered on
it had some sun damage. The guy that had it before my buddy left it outside. Had a full top, and I had the frame for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the top had deteriorated, so they got rid of it, but kept the frame. So I had the frame. I want to do just a small, not a crazy, you know, I'm never going to run it.
Like on a Jeep.
Yeah, that's all I want to put on it.
Yeah, that's sweet. So it has no brakes, and what other issues was it?
Well, it's got an oil, it's leaking oil.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd
So
like
we need to do a compression test and evaluate everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to redo, you know, the motor that's got leaky.
We'll have to check the end plate on it.
Yeah, that's the deciding factor. We just took a guy's 73 Super, beautiful one, you'll see it in the back. Took his case all down. He had good compression, but he had 10,000ths. And you know, you have to be between 4 and 6, you know, 3 and 5. Some people say 3 and 5. Preferably 5 when you're done rebuilding it. But he had 10, and you're already taking it too far then. We took the whole motor apart to the case, and I took that one and another one up to the machinist. It's Frank Vallone, and both of them failed. He said that the one in the 73 had already been thrust cut and line bored, and it was too far gone. There wasn't enough material. So he had to actually go out and buy an aluminum case. He chose the aluminum one instead of the magnesium because the magnesium is basically not as good as the aluminum. You know, it can deteriorate if it, you know, has any water in it or sitting in water. So he went all the way.
I haven't run this a lot since I got it. I was in New York. Can't run it in bad weather, which is half of the time there. It wasn't practical.
Yeah.
So,
but this is the place for them.
This is the place.
Yeah, see, they start slinging it all out of oil when you get more in play. And the more it's just going to sling it off from the...
Well, it sat so long, I'm thinking maybe gaskets deteriorated or...
You could have a bad oil cooler seal.
Yeah, that we've seen that a lot too.
Yeah.
The grommets get hardened, and where your oil cooler sits, and all that pressure is going through those grommets, and it just bypasses and comes across the top of the block, and then it looks like it's coming from everywhere. But first we'd get a compression test and then get an idea of the end play, and if it's excessive by feel on the outside, that's what he was trying to do, but can't do it with this cover, is push it and then pull it back and then push it and then listen for it. And if you can barely hear anything, you're probably good. But if you hear thunk, thunk, then it's best that we just pull the thing out and put a dial indicator on the back of the flywheel in the case and get an actual measurement. But I mean, of course, we'll do a compression test and everything before that.
It needs a fuel line. I don't know if my fuel tank is leaking or not. Is there a way we can pressure test that maybe or something?
Well, we go for the fuel line underneath it first. That one, nobody gets.
The fuel line that runs is all dry rotted, so that's got to be
the metal fuel line. Okay.
It's not metal. It's
oh,
hose.
Oh, it's supposed to. It's supposed to.
Oh,
be
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be metal going through the tunnel.
No, it's a hose. Somebody at some time.
That's a pretty common problem for me.
See, it runs right along the bottom.
Yeah, and that's
a steel line in the tunnel. It's pretty common for those to rust out.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of a bitch to replace. So instead of replacing it properly, people just run
a hose.
Yeah.
That's how I fell in love with Volkswagens, is building sand rails and dune buggies back in the Northwest. Played down there in Nevada in many a dune buggy.
Those are for lights, and then somebody put speakers in them, or is that?
I put the speakers in the.
That is a cool idea.
Like
but
that.
those are actually for lights, weren't they?
These?
Yeah.
No, these are speakers. They're motorcycle speakers, actually.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't know.
Yeah.
That looks a lot better than what I done on
That's
my
badass.
I took
It looks just like
put
lights.
2 elbows on it, mounted speakers in the end of the elbows, and mounted it up there to the firewall.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't been on bikes.
So I said I got to put a stereo in this thing. So.
First mechanic job I had was a mechanic's helper for a motocross mechanic at Jim's Yamaha. Doesn't exist anymore. And I used to get to take home demo bikes all the time. And someone pulled out in front of me, and I went over the hood, and I ain't never been on a bike since. Don't want nothing to do with it.
My son-in-law
I went
works
into hot rods then.
My son-in-law works over at Lucky You Cycles there on 3.
Yeah.
He works over there.
I love watching them and everything, but I don't like breaking bones or dying.
Yeah, I don't ride as much as I used to.
Yeah, there's too many.
I still have a Harley, but I don't ride it a lot because there's too many.
Yeah, and especially right near here.
Oh, I know. There's a whole village full of them.
There's rear end accidents daily, multiple ones right up and down the road.
That's why I rode dirt bikes so long. I said, on riding dirt bike, I only got to look out for one screaming idiot.
Yeah.
Me, I've been fortunate never to break a bone. That's sweet. I get new tires on it now too, huh?
I put new tires on it. The front ones were okay, but the back ones were, they were the old bias ply G60s. They were the, I don't know if they were original, but they wouldn't hold any air. So
lights on the bottom too.
They didn't make a big enough tire for the rear, which kind of disappointed me because now it looks kind of small. It should be much bigger. It should be wider.
It's nice. Yeah, I'd leave the paint just the way it is.
I love it.
So, I haven't seen one that looks that good and it's the original 70s paint job.
Yep.
I wouldn't care about that. What that is it blistered up and somebody cut and buffed and the heads came off.
Down here too.
Yeah.
Clear coat's turning loose.
Where's Reynolds?
That's what I do. I move all of them snaps,
way in the back.
color sanded,
Yeah.
and get it again with some more clear.
Yeah. You just got to be careful because once you go into that, yeah, it's common for it to get underneath it right near where those snaps go in.
Well, I don't like driving this on the highway. I don't like driving on the highway. Local roads is
Right.
Ocala National Forest, lots of good trails and dirt roads there to go play in, sand.
Okay, how far is that from me? That's not far, right?
It's not even,
Yeah,
just a hop,
half
skip, and
an
a
hour.
jump, half hour, yeah.
It's very big, but you make sure you're on.
You can get a map of that area too and it'll tell you.
If you go to the Ocala
areas to
National
go
Forest,
to.
make sure you're on a numbered trail or one with a name. Not, they can write you a pretty healthy ticket. Like a $500 ticket.
Yeah, no, we weren't familiar with that when we were kids. We could go anywhere when we were kids.
Florida was open country then.
Yeah. Do our compression test on it, evaluate the motor. 120.
20?
Yeah.
You only got one cylinder checked on the compression test, and the starter sounds like crap and it's dragging really bad. Rick, he pointed it out that sounds like the bushing's bad in it. So customer needed to get a new battery anyways, and should get a new starter. That starter is so old. Never seen one like that, huh?
No, I've never seen one like that anywhere.
Yeah, like the positive and negative posts come out at angles, huh?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Crazy shit.
So it's an ancient starter. So you should just get a universal one, then we don't even have to deal with the bushing.
And it looks to me like it's an industrial starter.
Huh, that's weird. Like, you know, Voltec motors have been used for all different kinds of things over the years.
Yeah.
You know.
It might have came off of a pump or something.
Yeah, so.
Definitely looks like it belongs on a tractor more than on a bug.
Well, it only made it one cylinder and you could hear it dragging when we were testing number one, and number two, it just won't go nowhere. And I load tested the battery. I had it on a charger yesterday. I knew it wasn't the battery. All right, guys, I'm gonna pull this out of the trophy car, Manx Dune Buggy. Boy, there is absolutely no clearance. This, you can see, it's been pulled in, pull out. There's no clearance for this. And gotta get this belly pan off and everything and pull this motor out of here so we can finish the evaluation. And the starter was really weak, need to get a new starter. So it's gotta come out anyways. We're gonna go ahead and pull it out, get an accurate reading on the end place. Even though we couldn't get anything from here, you can't feel anything. It's like maybe this clutch is stuck. It's been sitting for quite some time. So we'll get an accurate reading on the flywheel. So let me get on with this. All right, he's got a generator set up on it. I'd like to put an alternator on it. Not sure if there'll be clearance issues. Damn freaking robocalls. That's just the wiring is awful on this. Robocalls. Look at the regulator here. This whole back end has to be rewired. I could imagine what it is anywhere else. So I'm gonna disconnect the regulator right here and leave it all aside and deal with that when the motor's out. All right, all that crap is out of the way, and what a mess it is. So I think got enough room now. I gotta get that belly pan off, then I can get to the bolts and get this out of there. All right, as you can see, this tranny definitely needs to be resealed. It is just a mess, and that's the majority what I feel the oil is going across the top of the belly pan. It's real thick, you know, it's gear oil. But of course, some of it could be coming from the engine, but it's hard to tell, it's everywhere. But both of them have to come out. So as you can see, I got the belly pan out of the way. Boy, oil everywhere. Looks like wheel cylinders leaking. We'll figure that out later. So I get this thing raised up and ready to pull this motor. All right, we're checking the end play on this from the flywheel since we couldn't feel any movement before. Yeah, look at this wiring. It is atrocious. A lot of this, we're gonna have to eliminate it, clean it all up, put it in loom. If we can eliminate the generator, go to an alternator, saying they really can't do anything with it once it's in here, and come up with a better solution for the air filter. I mean, half the air filter rests here, and it was squashed down. You don't even see how anybody can get into it. Gotta get a slimline one. Where are you at now with the feeler gauges?
Up to 10.
Holy cow. Well, that's definitely a rebuild, unfortunately. Want to do it one more time?
I'm gonna keep checking till
You're trying a 13 there?
I'm gonna call it 13.
Holy cow. The case might not be rebuildable. That's an awful lot of in play.
Yeah, flywheel's trashed.
Yeah, the corners are all ate off. That needs a new flywheel. And actually, that's what was happening was...
That's a 6-volt flywheel too. I can almost guarantee it.
Oh, okay.
It's
So then...
180 millimeter.
So then that's a 6-volt
6-volt starter.
starter on it.
Gotta look at the crud in the f***ing bushing there. This is a bushing.
Yeah, the bushing is shot like you were saying. Yeah. Somebody's grinded that out, hasn't they?
That's pieces of bushing.
Oh.
Yeah, about.
It's ate into this side of the housing.
Yeah.
So then
you
he
may
just needs to get a new flywheel and a universal starter.
Yeah.
Then he won't even have to deal with this. You see how bad that tranny is? It's all mostly on that side. It's all along the bottom of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely needs a refresh, and it looks like wheel cylinders are weeping, both sides.
Boot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, it's definitely needs all of the above, but you see weeping over here. Mainly this one's bad.
Probably axle seal, but it could be a wheel cylinder.
Yeah. All right, so that's where we're at. This is definitely going to be a rebuild. I have to get with the customer about it and go from there. So stay tuned for more progress on this badass trophy car built in Sanford, Florida. Hey guys, so here's the 73 Super Beetle rebuild with the brand new case. And now we're gonna go over to this one and make this one as pretty as that one, but it's going to be a beige. This is for the Dune Buggy, the trophy car from Sanford, Florida, true survivor. And it's got 13 thousandths in play on it. So it definitely needs a rebuild, but we want to see how the cylinders are, what the compression's like. So Rick's over here getting it all hooked up and ready. He's going to do the compression chest and then we're going to disassemble it. The owner, Brian's going to be over here shortly. He wants to watch and participate and check out how it's done and what everything looks like on the inside. And we'll go over what's going to be needed and get on with a rebuild for that. So stay tuned. Brian will be here shortly. All right, well, Rick just got done checking number 2. It's at 125 PSI.
140.
Number 1's at 140. That could be valves, huh?
Oh yeah, very easily could be a valve adjustment. 130. 125.
125. So it's kind of a 15% difference, huh?
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it could be in a valve adjustment.
The piston cylinders will be salvageable.
All right, everybody, this is Brian. This is his motor out of the Dune Buggy. Just to let everybody know who you are.
I already changed out the flywheel, put a 12-volt flywheel on it. This is the starter I was talking about.
Yep.
Hey, we lucked out and didn't break no exhaust studs, huh?
No, I'm surprised. Everything came apart except this one screw.
See, that's what we were talking about there.
Right. Yep.
No starter bushing.
Yep.
That's your starter bushing in there. So what was you doing today?
Plain.
Ah.
This has got the thing on the bottom.
Yep, you got to unhook the thermostat.
Well, we won't be putting that back on this thing.
No, I don't need it.
It has no reason to be on it. There's no heater. It's a Dune Buggy.
How long has it been since this ran anyway?
3 or 4 years. I mean, I ran it, but not basically in and out of the garage. That was it. Last time it's been run on the street, probably 6 years.
Okay.
Yep, there's those where they look like just 2 pieces of cut hose.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like those orange grommets. That's the most I've seen you using a wrench.
I do know how. Well, I can tell you this much, if it was rebuilt, they put the original cylinders back in it. You don't see that no more.
Yeah, so these are original jugs.
Yep, probably.
We use a lot of new hardware. Where you have compressed cylinder, but the assembly takes a lot more time because everything's so pretty.
Right.
You got to be real careful. So, what do you think of that one there?
It's nice.
It is pretty good. He's real happy.
Real close.
Big
Moving out
blue
back.
one out back. They're not that loose, huh?
No, they're in there pretty tight, but they've been there a day or two.
You think so?
Pistons look okay.
So far, yeah. Once I get them out, I'll give them a good looking over.
The top, the carbon off and see what it looks like. You're glad it was those clips, huh?
Yeah.
Star?
Wow, that's amazing.
What? Oh my God, it actually just came out with your hands?
Yep, we grabbed a hold of it and pulled it right out.
Usually half of that stays in there.
If you grab a hold to it and pull it out with your fingers, that's usually because it broke off right there.
Alright, so we got some nuts to take off, huh?
Pull that off.
Okay. Time to open her up, huh?
Yep.
Hey, it's not all eaten up. Usually eats it right here. All the sand and stuff, especially Dune Buggy. That's one thing we definitely need to do with his and put a sand seal on it, wouldn't
Yep.
With a new pulley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this has seen much sand in upstate New York.
Yeah, and actually if he's just on the street, then it's no big concern.
Yeah, but he was talking when he dropped it off, he wanted to run trails with it.
He wanted what?
I do want.
Oh, then you want the sand seal. It comes in
You
the
notice there's no seal here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
With a sand seal, you get a machined aluminum piece that has a seal in it that you have to tap in there with a hammer. And then your pulley, you have to buy another pulley because you see that's got grooves in
And
it.
you have to buy another bolt because
Yep.
the bolt's an extended bolt.
those grooves,
For the length of the seal, it's going to be there.
those grooves catch the oil and slings it back into the engine.
And that's the only
But it
seal there is.
also, any sand that gets in there catches that and slings that back into the engine too. Now you get to see a Volkswagen's oil filter.
That's it, huh?
That's it. That's an oil filter on a Volkswagen.
Except for a big build like that. It gets in a regular oil filter.
Yeah, it's got one of them too though.
Yeah.
It's also got 2 oil coolers. You know, it holds 6 quarts of oil.
And this holds what?
Just not quite 3.
Not quite 3?
Yeah, like 2.7 quarts. High volume oil pump on it.
Yeah, because you see the thickness of the plate.
Pretty good ridge there. Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
She had some problems.
Holy cow, that's all into it. I mean, it's, ooh, look at that. That crank definitely need turned, if it's even usable. But we have cranks.
Yeah, we got crankshafts.
There's no doubt that would need turned anyways.
Yeah.
Period. It's already gone through everything. There's no copper left there, is there?
Nope. And something was happening
Yeah, because look at that. Look at the pit. Look at that chunk missing.
right here. What's that?
Ooh. Oh, it got hot. That's
Yeah.
like welded.
I'd like to never got it off of there, and it's supposed to fall off. It should have stayed in that side of the case.
Wow. Yeah, it's welded itself to it. Look. That one too.
Yep.
Well, we definitely know that is
What
not.
is that? That's the bearings for
Yeah,
the crank?
these,
Yep, that's your main bearings.
and they're eaten completely through.
Yep.
Now it's just a metal on it.
The reality
That's
is,
not usable.
you need a new case and a new crank.
Hey guys, it's Dalton.
And G-Man.
Thanks for watching this video. This concludes the part 1 of the 1970 green trophy car Dune Buggy video, which has been long overdue to be released.
Oh yeah, well, it's the timing with all the events coming into spring and everything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a great Dune Buggy, a survivor. You know.
Original gel coat paint.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. It's unfortunate that we weren't able to reuse the case. As you could tell, that it was 13 thousandths before we opened it up, and you're not aware whether it's been line bore or thrust cut before. Bearings were so worn that the crank would have to be turned. The case had been line bored and thrust cut, and then at 13 thousandths, there was just not enough material left to do a thrust cut. It could have been line bored, but the thrust cut knocks it out. And you know, these cases are getting really old and fatigued, and a lot of people are just not even reusing the cases, but that's not what we're trying to do here. If the case is rebuildable and it can be line bored and thrust cut and it's within spec, then we can run with it. But as you can see, Brian got in low on this. You know, he got a good deal on it, traded a trailer for it, so he wanted it right, and he said, hey, let's just go ahead and do it. Get the whole kit with the counterbalance crank, a new case, pistons, jugs, you know, the whole works from AA Performance. So
Yeah, after this build, it actually inspired us to buy the exact same build for our 66 Wannabe. But yeah, another thing I'd like to say before the end of this video is that this vehicle is actually registered in the Dune Buggy Archives. The previous owner of it actually posted some pictures, as you guys can see, and then one guy was like, yeah, I'm gonna register you in the Dune Buggy Archives. So he's now registered in there. It seems to be this body style is a tarantula style body style, which is pretty cool. It's made by a company B&N in Ohio. They used to be a fiberglass company back in the day. But I gotta say, it is a sweet Dune Buggy. And yeah, guys, I mean, that's 1776. Just wait until you hear that thing purr in the next
it's
video.
just a whole lot of fun to drive. And
So
that thing
loud,
is
sounds
just
so
shit.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we got a neighbor that's got like a $65,000 supercharged Mustang, and just couldn't keep me off of his license plate. He was trying to show off when he saw us test driving it in the neighborhood. He just rapped on his Mustang, and I just like, hey, let's play with him a little bit, and got right up on his ass. He couldn't peel me off his tag.
yeah. And another thing, all these vehicles we do test in just the neighborhood. We do not
Yes.
go out with a customer's vehicle, just to let you know. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, of course, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and all the support is much appreciated. So yeah,
Keep it up.
yeah, and have a just buggin' of a day.